Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It is your flying Hawaiian, the host with the most, George Ferido, and sitting across from me is my co-host, your resident wower. Wower? That's not a word. Mr. William Dean Henderson. How are you today?
Thanks for using a great, cool fucking nickname for you and my full name that my mother gave me for me.
Dean Henderson. How you doing today?
I'm good. I rolled an 18 and a 9. So
you're rolling with disadvantage. So this podcast is going to be extremely mediocre.
What's my charisma modifier for What's my podcasting skill modifier?
You know what? You would probably have a +3.
Wow, +3. Okay, so I'm looking at 12. All right, guys, it's going to be a meh episode. It's going to be okay.
Decent.
Yeah.
And you could get a couple of nat 20s in it. That's how we're going to make decisions today.
Oh, really?
Is the dice.
Oh, I should have left them out then.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see what decisions come up, what happens, what's going on.
Do we have decisions to make? I don't feel like remember making decisions in this podcast too much.
We should.
What decisions could we possibly make?
PlayStation versus Xbox.
That's not a decision. That's a scientific outcome.
I mean, that depends on what era of the world you're looking into.
I guess.
Because Xbox 360 was a monster. Like, they figured all of the technological parts out first.
Yes.
Gears of War, all that shit. Like, that was my competitive gaming.
The controller still sucks.
Nah, I disagree. The original Xbox controller was garbage.
Yes.
Fucking playing Knights of the Old Republic on that thing is like using a fucking keyboard.
Yeah, it's huge.
But the 360, it got smaller.
Yeah, it's smaller, but it's too...
Steven Roth, back me up on this. The 360 controller's legit.
There's too much surface area for me. I like the PlayStation controller where like the handles are a little longer. I played the PS5, by the way, at Brian Matthews on Memorial Day.
What do you like? What do you think about the DualSense?
Okay.
Shout out to B-Matt.
Where do we even start, if I'm being honest?
Throwing it
okay.
Up. Well, I want to start with his little arcade thing.
Yes,
which is
sure.
Which is fucking banana. This podcast is going to be the review of Brian Matthews toys.
Matthews, yes.
So Brian has this,
which we intended to do a podcast there, by the way, but we got distracted.
I know.
So.
You have too much good shit, Brian. If you're listening to this, his little arcade thing for listeners that don't know, he got it overseas, obviously,
and that's obvious.
And it has like 30,000 games or something.
On the light side, it's 30,000.
Yeah,
I think it's probably more than that.
It's got like every iteration and every pirated iteration of Mario Brothers and Super Metroid and every game you can think of probably that came out and you played in an arcade between 1970 and 2004.
Well, and not only that, it has like PlayStation 1 games. It has like old ass Super Nintendo games, normal Nintendo games. Like it just has the full breadth,
which is odd to try and play a PlayStation game you have played on an arcade stick.
Yeah,
it was weird.
Although I noticed when they were trying to play, like they tried to play Tony Hawk's Pro Skater at one point, and it was like really laggy. Like the machine couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It was like a few bytes too much.
But what I did play and what I had a fucking great time with was Metal Slug.
Ooh, I wasn't there when you were playing that. I didn't see that. I didn't even think
wall
of that.
full of Metal Slug. I was like, all right, this is what I'm playing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, having it on that projector was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing? Who are we?
Why would I leave this room ever? Ever. You can't get bored in that place.
No. With that many games, it's like, imagine trying to beat every single one of those games.
Jesus, you can't. You can't.
No?
Because, some of the games, because it was from overseas, they're glitchy. They're basically like mods. Like when you play emulators and you download the games and you put them onto the emulator. What am I rolling for?
I'm going to see how many games you'll be able to get done before you die.
Oh, okay.
I got a 4, so not
I
too
got
many.
a 4 as well. These are weighted die.
We're both dying of heart attacks. Before.
We're gonna get alcohol poisoning in that room because it's definitely flammable on one side.
Yeah. I noticed that Brian Matthews has multiple copies of multiple video games.
Because sometimes you have to.
No, I don't think you do. Like, I don't I that has never even like crossed my mind. Of course, he has multiple systems. I always forget about that.
Yeah. And then he also uses like his systems to take to work and stuff to share, and so it makes sense, and it's also probably a tax write-off.
Yeah,
but
that's neither here nor there.
I mean, I've picked up like if the game was cheap and I had it and I knew my friend wanted to play it, I've picked up extra games. Why not? Like Overwatch when it was on sale and stuff. Like I knew people that wanted to play it, and I had it, and there was like a $20. It was like $20, and I was like, all right, I'll just grab it. Like it's no big deal. And I'm sure Brian Matthews is like that with like cars and stuff, you know? So
well, I know someone that needs a car.
Who needs a Tesla Model Y?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But
he's balling.
That was fun. It was cool. It's a neat like party thing to just kind of have out and let people play, because it did have the 2-player thing. That was dope. But because, like I said, it's mods and it's like playing emulator games. There's glitches that you run into. There's
okay.
We tried to play Zero and I tried to play Tekken, 2-player Tekken, and there was no real way to have a 2-player game. You had to initiate a local online play, and then they had to log in as a guest. But you had to only push one button, and it would initiate the sequence of like, all right, it'll open up a game or a global battle, and then he'll join as a guest, and then it'll do everything, and then give you back control when you get to power your character select.
Weird.
Yeah, so it kind of like I was telling Zero, it kind of felt like you hit start when you're trying to play 2 players, and then some kid in Korea wakes up and goes, "Oh fuck, he wants to play," and then starts connecting shit.
It's like,
yeah, and that's why it was laggy and stuff, I assume, because there's not enough Koreans in that office.
Traveling 5,000 miles.
Yeah, but I mean, fucking great, so cool. It was like what was it, Ninja Turtles?
Mm-hmm.
Looked dope. I would put that in a cabinet on its own. Just you should do that, Brian Matthews. Is not listening to this. You should put that shit in a cabinet, dude.
Yeah, you got the money.
Casa de Matthews. It's not even that expensive. I mean,
to build a cabinet.
Yeah. You just it really is like 6 pieces of wood and a screen. It's fucking. I guess that's all it is.
That way, but then you need noise. You need sound system in there.
But if it's a USB and you're gonna have a screen in there already, it's just you probably have a 48-inch monitor in there with. Or not.
Why don't you just fucking build it then, George?
Because I don't really have the time.
Yeah, man.
Nor do I have the arcade. No, I probably would though. That'd be cool. Like
it would be cool. If you could build
just a fun project.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could buy the cabinets that they sell at Lost Levels.
Oh yeah.
And just pop that bitch right in.
Oh yeah.
That's what I would do.
Just pop it right in.
Yeah. Like. Spit on it so it fits. Yeah,
it's ready to go.
I think I might be past the point of like, oh, I'll make it myself. I'm more of the, who can I pay to do it?
Yeah.
Like, every time I change my oil, there's someone like, you can do it yourself. Like, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that shit.
I'm gonna pay $30 for a cup of coffee, bro. Let me hang out. Let me do that.
Yeah, I agree. And if I can't afford it, doesn't need to be done.
Yeah, until it does, and then it's just fire on the 91.
It's fine. You'll be fine.
All right, but that is his arcade system, which if you guys are looking into it, definitely pick it up. And if you want, a full review on it, holler at your Gameboiz, because we'll play it.
Kind of just gave it.
For free.
So, for a game?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, we'll give it a shot. So, yeah, while people were playing that, I noticed that the PS5 was untouched. So I was like, hey, Brian, can I turn on the
I saw
PS5?
before I left you were playing Avengers.
Yeah, so I booted it up, and first of all, it's super quick. It doesn't take long. It's just, and then once it's ready to go.
That SSD, bro.
Yeah, and once it's ready to go, it's ready to go. It's not, how like the PS4, like the menu will pull up, but like if you try to like scroll and like go to games, it'll like take a second to load.
No. Mine doesn't do that.
Sure.
It takes
it doesn't.
a week.
Yeah. So like there's none of that. I mean, everything's just there, ready to go.
To be fair, that's how my PlayStation 4 was when I first got it. It was pretty responsive.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And then it's just old and sluggish,
you
and
put a terabyte of shit worth on it,
and then there's another terabyte attached via USB.
So
it's like, hey man, ease up.
Yeah, dude, I'm so fat. It's like I'm gonna have a heart attack with all the shit you're pumping into me. But controller feels nice. I like the elongated handles. That helped me. Like it just felt better in my hand. It was weird how like
did you have any DualSense experience? Okay.
It's weird how there's no like colors on the controller. Like when you look at the buttons, like it has like the marks, the cross, circle, triangle, circle, or square, but there's no color.
Is it like embossed?
Debossed,
no, maybe.
It's like kind of within it. Like the button itself is clear, but I think the writing is white and it's like within it. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but obviously, like if you've been playing, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So Marvel's Avengers, probably not the best use of my time, on the PS5, at least in the beginning, because the beginning, you're playing this like 12-year-old girl who's walking around an Avengers festival on Avengers Day in San Francisco, and you're just like finding comics, and then you just like meet a random Avengers, and you're just walking around. I'm like, I'm bored. Give me something to like. I played this game to be a fucking superhero. Not
give me my training sequence, bro.
Jesus Christ. And so you go through all that, and like the graphics are fine. I don't know, like the graphics themselves didn't come off as like super realistic. Like eye movement and face movement was better. They still haven't figured out hair. But it just looked like a smoother PS4. And
do you think because they were unsure which platform they were going to push it out for, so they kind of had to hit the middle and be like, well, if we put it on PS4, we might have a Cyberpunk issue, but it'll run. But if we put it on PS5, it'll look okay. You know, because I've seen some PS5s and they look fucking gorgeous, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like that's when I was watching you play what little I did, I felt the same way. It seemed like a texturally smoother PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not impressed.
Yeah, that's how I felt too overall. And maybe that's just that game, but
how are the particle effects in that game?
I don't know what that means.
Like the smoke. And
the smoke looked cool. It was like
I
was like, oh, that's different. Like that looked different and noticeably better, I think. So eventually, like once you're playing with this girl and you get all the comics, of course there's a terrorist attack on Avengers Day, because why wouldn't there be an Avengers universe? You know, all the Avengers are busy 1 mile away. Why wouldn't we attack?
7 of the world's most powerful people.
So fucking stupid. Anyway, just no tactic.
Learn How to Terror by William.
No tact at all. So there's a terrorist attack on the Golden Gate Bridge. So obviously now starts the intense part, and then they start taking you through like one by one, like the different Avengers. So you start with Thor with his hammer, and this is when you started noticing the like, what do they call, haptic feedback from the triggers, because when you would like pull it back to like do a hit, it had some like pushback.
Nice.
It was weird. Like it had weight to it. It was very strange. And you aim with the left trigger like to like throw his hammer. So you pull that left trigger back, and that one's easy. Just whoop, just like normal. But then you go to hit the right one to throw, and it's like, oh, you got to pull it.
Cool.
It's fucking weird. And what's cool is like if you have like a charge effect where it's like you need to take a second to charge it, it like you can't pull it all the way back until pretty much it's done. Like it feels like you're charging and then letting go.
That's cool.
It's really cool. So that was fun. Like when you hit people with Thor, it's fucking dope because they just go flying. Like it's so cool. And like the special effect, like the like special abilities look cool. Like they obviously like took their time on that part, that was fun, and that's why I play superhero games. Yeah. Like those like I'm gonna fuck shit up moments. You could destroy other like the cars and everything. Like I tested shit, dude. I was like going around smashing shit. So Thor was cool, and then it switched to Iron Man. You're like flying around and shooting shit. That was cool. Gameplay was nice. You could like hover whenever you wanted. Like
Nice.
Like you could go on the ground and then fight and then fly around, fight some more.
That was always my problem with Iron Man games. Is like it was a weird transition to be on the ground and then to fly.
Yeah.
So you got really like a mediocre experience on both ends.
Yeah. And with this, like you could pretty much just do what you wanted. It was pretty dope.
Cool.
It was pretty cool. And there was obviously like some things with Iron Man where it was like flying fast, like through shit and like missing things. And then it switched to the Hulk, which was probably the best one. 'Cause you're just like running through and like 3 guys will surround you and you just fucking one smash and they just all like just disintegrate. Like they're just gone. And he has this like, you know, the Hulk can like jump really high and you'll like run and like grab like a billboard almost and then like jump to the next part of the bridge and like it's very smooth, very cinematic looking, which is fun. When you're able to also control it at the same time, like to have like both of those.
Yeah, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's very fun. Hulk was great because you're like fucking throwing tanks into tanks and just like, you know, all the Hulk shit that you always wanted to do.
Tanking a tank.
Yeah, you know, like there's like the ability where you like jump and then like smash down in an area. Like it's great. It's really fun to play the Hulk. And then you play.
I want to see like the Hulk, like thunderclap a dude and him just turn into mist.
Yeah, dude. Dude, yeah, he's just like a piece of paper. Yeah.
It sounded like it was a good time. You said it was a waste of your time almost.
Well, I mean, and then I played as Black Widow, which was fine. Like she just has a gun, I guess. I don't really know what her real powers are. They didn't really.
Get to play as Hawkeye?
Not as long as I played. So yeah, then you play as her and like you do like a mini boss fight, which is cool.
Who was the boss?
I don't know.
Oh.
Some guy that flies
Helpful.
with a jetpack.
Super helpful. Taskmaster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good guess. You nailed it.
Fucking nerd.
You nailed it, dude. But after that, then you go back to the girl who's apparently like becoming an Avenger, which I didn't know was a thing. And I don't know, I did like some mission where like I was like going like through the city on the rooftops and she had, I don't know, her arms stretch and she has like big hands when she needs to slide down ropes, I guess. I don't know. It was getting weird. And then I stopped playing. I was like, I need to play WoW.
I'm going back downstairs, guys.
Yeah.
Back at it.
Yeah. I mean, it was a cool experience. What I did notice when like you're playing a game and you hit the home button, instead of taking you home, it brings up like a menu at the bottom of the screen of everything that's on the home screen.
Oh, nice.
So you can basically go where you want, but the game is still like on the screen.
Yeah.
I really like that.
I like that too, because especially like when you accidentally hit the home button on the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, how do I get back?
All right, I'll be back in 10 minutes, bro, when you're done.
Yeah, and you can't just hit it again to go back.
Yeah.
Unnecessarily.
Because then it goes, yeah, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Just turn it off.
Especially in the middle of Warzone.
Oh,
it's
dude.
like, oh my God.
Yeah. Or like it'll happen right as I'm loading up in multiplayer, right as like you dude jumps out of the car, and now I'm just standing there like a fucking dumbass because
kick this fucking George guy, dude.
Dude, what in Cold War especially, they kick fucking quick, real quick. Like if you're not moving and you die, a lot of times you're gone before you can respawn.
Wow,
like hella quick.
That's pretty. I mean, you have to be there. You have to be gone pretty long to not move and to get killed.
Yeah, but I remember like in Call of Duty 4 back in the day, you could just stand there sometimes, be there half the map, and then be like, oh yeah, I gotta play. Totally fine. I played a snipers only round yesterday, and like I said, these Korean kids, dude.
They don't fuck around, man.
I'm sure they're all aimbotting or something.
They gotta make their parents proud.
They're at work, I think. Ridiculous.
Job,
Too much skill.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you played Squadrons?
Yeah. Also, I'm not spending $500 on a PS5. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, not
That's
yet.
what I
Me
came
either.
to. That's the conclusion I came to when I finished playing.
Me either.
Especially if I had to pay $50 to get an adapter to play VR, to play Rogue Scott or to play Squadrons. Fuck out of here. Ridiculous. But yeah,
it's not worth it then.
No, I don't think it's worth $500. I mean, maybe the technology is, but the experience isn't. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's games out there that might like change my mind, but just based on what I saw, I'm just like,
Yeah. And I mean, that was our conclusion when it came out, is like, there's nothing really wowing us yet, and it probably won't.
Yeah.
Till next year, realistically.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, we'll see what I haven't seen any holiday like release things that people are excited for yet.
Yeah.
So.
How long do you think you can genuinely hold off on getting a PS5 before the PS4 becomes like unusable? Because there was a point with my PS3 where I was like, all right, this is like almost pointless to have.
I mean, even Sony was saying that they're trying to elongate the life cycle of their things now. So you probably can keep your PS4, not mine.
Yeah.
For probably another 4 or 5 years at least.
Do you think it can last until the PS6?
No. I mean, yes, probably in terms of hardware and capabilities, but I don't know what kind of support and what kind of like
right. I mean,
player base you're going to have at this point.
They supported PS3 until
right, but that's because Grand Theft Auto was still on playing PS3, and there was its own little player base
that supports the PS3 on its own.
Yeah, realistically, yeah. So, I mean, as long as they have GTA 5, you're going to have a PS4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you might be good for 20 years then at this point.
We'll never know. We'll just have to see.
What if that's what they just start calling the series, GTA V?
GTA V 1, 2, 3, and then just start over again?
Yeah. GTA fucking ridiculous.
No, they won't. They won't.
Yeah, but I'm sure last year if we talk, you're like, hey, you think they're going to come out with another 5? No. No. They're definitely going to come out with a new one. They're working on a medieval game. They're pretty sure.
They haven't even talked about Grand Theft Auto 6.
Because like how
they're just like, yeah, we're working on it.
How much content are they like just burning through that they could have probably used on 6?
I don't think they're worried about it, dude.
Where do they go next? Fucking Dubai?
Yeah,
that
probably.
Would be
that
dope,
would actually be super dope. Yeah.
It's not about drugs. It's about oil now. Oh.
Dude, you just walk around trying to spit on the ground without getting arrested.
every time you spit, it's a 1-star.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's one of your weapons.
Dude, you're welcome, Rockstar.
Yeah.
That would be fucking great.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, and you can
get awesome cars.
Yeah,
dude.
you only get awesome cars.
Skydive off the fucking buildings that they have. Yeah, man.
That would be dope.
But they can't call it Dubai. They probably just call it like Doobie. Knowing them.
Dubai. They Dubeastern. No.
They call it like Budai.
Dubois.
Yeah, they do something like that. They do something sexual.
What was LA called?
Los Santos.
That's right. Los Santos. Fuck.
Yeah, man.
Maybe they're like, we're out of ideas, guys, if we're being real.
No.
That's why we keep giving 5, and that's why there's a casino and new cars and jet skis. We don't know where else to go.
I mean, I don't know, like, if you've seen, like, they're doing, like, racetracks in the sky, like obstacle course racetracks in the sky. It's fucking...
I've seen some of those, like, those speedrunners and stuff, like, try to make those shots. It's fucking...
It's so annoying.
Banana. I was like, well, this is some Fortnite shit, dude.
Yeah, but Grand Theft Auto 5 videos are some of my favorite videos to stumble upon, because it'll just be someone like in the mountains with like a Faggio, and they'll just fucking launch off and like somehow stay afloat until they get to the Maze Bank building. It's like, what the fuck,
and then land in the parking spot.
Yeah, it's like, how the hell did you do that?
First off, how did you know that was there? The first time you tried it.
How many times have you done this? Yeah. It's so ridiculous.
You're not even playing the game anymore. You're just like, I wonder if I can make it. You're like,
what are you doing?
You're standing at half court just lobbing balls at that point. You're not even playing.
At that point, you're like in the stands on the other side, just like overhanding them down there trying to throw.
Can't even see it.
Yeah, and it just like happens to bounce off the ground and land inside the. It's so stupid.
Yeah, the world of modding has made video games very interesting.
Yes, very much.
And I'm also like, get some friends, dude. Like, what are you doing with your life right now?
And it's like, did you play the game at all? That's what I wonder. Is like, did you beat the game itself, or did you just play like this the whole time?
The only person I know that would do that doesn't really play the game without the mods. So. I would say no, probably not. Just on information gained.
Why? You think you can make this game better?
I mean, to them it is though.
Better?
And honestly, maybe they did because now we're talking about them playing this ridiculous part of the game.
Yeah, but they couldn't have done it on their own.
Maybe they did, and that's how they know it.
They couldn't make.
And then they're trying to
Grand
make it
Theft
go
Auto.
viral. There's got to be some like weird subculture of mods where like the dude that makes it shows you how to do it, and then everyone else is like, "Ooh, I think I can do it," and then so they all download that mod, and then his name is on it as well. You know, like hackers and shit. Or fucking that was it, Captain Crunch, the whistle when he was freaking on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'm sure, like because every nerd culture has that weird subculture of 17 people who.
Yeah, fuck those people though. they can fuck off.
Why?
Because
they're living their
annoying.
best life.
They're
bro.
annoying.
Are they?
Yeah.
Do you know any of those people?
Nope.
Exactly. Then how you know they're annoying?
Because they're not cool enough to know me.
Says the guy who plays WoW by himself in his room with his pup.
I don't play by myself. There are millions of players online playing with me.
Do they all know
It's
you? Are you famous?
Yeah, dude.
Hella famous?
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't get it.
You know what?
It's
You're right.
It's a
because
WoW thing.
you're a loser and you're annoying, and I don't want to play with you.
It's such an elitist game.
We forgot where we're going. Squadrons.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to play the full VR because I downloaded the demo because when I got the VR, I was like, what else can I do with this?
Yeah.
So it was primarily like it sat you in the X-Wing and it gave you the option of instruments or the HUD.
Mm-hmm.
And so I chose instruments, but I also didn't play the game, so I wasn't really familiar with it. So it turned out to be like this just cinematic experience of things shooting at me, but still super fucking dope because I'm in an X-Wing. Like the only thing missing was that little targeting system to come up from my right side and peek over my eyeball for the missiles. That's the only thing that was missing. But like you were saying, the instruments are all there. Like they all function for something. I was like, this is fucking dope, bro.
It's really cool. It's really cool. Having access to the full game. I mean, I texted you and I told you like I actually feel bad for having your VR now.
I know you showed me your boner and everything.
Yeah, because you're way more into Star Wars than I am, and you would probably like have a conniption over this game because like you start out in a TIE fighter. That's the first part of the story mode, and like first of all, terrible vision, garbage. Just like you're looking through a hexagon, and it's like I don't. What do I mean, it works. It's fine, but like. But it is cool to fly them, though. You know.
Think about the designer for a TIE fighter in world. They're like, this is the best option.
Right. Yeah.
You can't see behind you. You don't need to.
You don't need to.
There's no brakes.
What are you
going to
run away?
There's no landing gear. Don't worry. You don't need them.
Yeah. They do have decent mobility, though. I like in this game how. Okay, well, I guess we can get there. But so you start in the TIE fighter, and like you have a little mission, and then you switch to the rebel, and you get like in the X-wing. And once you get there, it's like, oh, this is fucking dope.
Yeah,
because it's more like, I don't know, it's more colorful. There's more going on in the cockpit. And
you see more.
You see more because like the windows go. You know, if anybody's seen the X-wing, like that's what it's like. So you can look left and right, which comes. It's hella handy when you're fighting.
As I was playing without the VR, I was like, oh, there's a lot to try kind of keep track of on screen with the controller.
Yeah, I would imagine. And what's cool is like you can be like looking to your left, flying straight, check your instruments, go back. Like you don't have, it's like it's all very seamless.
That's what you need a gamer chair for. To feel like immersed.
Yeah, I agree. What else?
I really enjoyed the power management.
Yeah, that part's cool and like changing it in the midst of battle, it's like, oh, there's just another like mechanic, another layer that I need to learn.
Yeah, depending on what you need, and it's a very ingenious way, I thought, to balance the fighters, because like the maneuverability is kind of the same between the TIE fighter and the X-wing, but the X-wing is superior just in visibility, and then it also has the speed advantage as well. But the fact that you can't utilize that speed advantage the whole time because you have to shoot as well. I was like, this is genius.
Yeah,
like,
it's perfect.
It levels the playing field.
Yeah, and then like you're low on health, throw those shields on. You can have your droid repair you in the meantime.
Yeah.
And then like
I wish it was voice activated. R2, we're on fire, bro.
That would be cool. That would be cool. And with the VR, you could easily do that. Like,
yeah.
You could easily do that. The character, it's weird that they have you choose a character because you're like one of the main people, but you're not the main person. So like you just have like throwaway lines.
Yeah.
They'll be like, all right, we're going to go into this sector and make sure that these guys are okay, and then we're going to head out and take on these TIE fighters before they get there. And then your character will be like, all right, let's do it.
Got it. Let's go.
Yeah, it's like, fuck. It's like, why'd you have me? Just give me a character.
Yeah, that's
and
been
make
pretty
it the main
standard.
character. I don't like that. I don't like being the backup guy. I want to be the shit.
But then
guy.
you didn't. It's harder because you need someone to give you the objectives. Like that's how most.
Well, that's why you have like the admiral.
Yeah, Admiral Akbar. But then again, then you need those dudes to voice over for you, and that's expensive. Because you nerds want the real people to voice that shit.
Yeah, well, nerds, sometimes you gotta fucking give and take a little bit. Fucking losers. God damn it.
But that's the standard, that's the cliche like story. But since like Ace Combat 1 is like you're just part of the squad, you follow your leader and you rise to the occasion, and
I mean,
at the end you become the ace.
It does make like the missions like nice and easy because it's like follow this person. I was like, okay, cool, let's go.
I changed up my entire control scheme.
Really?
All of it, yeah.
How?
My pitch. So I roll like, how do I explain this? The tail flaps. So your yaw and your pitch are on one, so that I can basically turn and burn. Have you seen? You've seen Top Gun.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So there's like a weird maneuver where he dips and kind of does this, not a roll, but it's a spiral almost.
Yeah.
And you can't do that with your stock control because your pitch and your yaw and your roll are on two different things. If you want it, you have to be able to like dual. So I went southpaw, and then I also changed like everything. Like
okay,
I had
great
to.
breakdown of your controller scheme.
It's hard to explain because it's intuitive for me now because I've been playing so many fighter games like that, and it was odd to play like that this way. Like I had to forego maybe a follow button in order to make this color scheme work or this controller scheme work.
Okay.
So I couldn't lock on that was it. The lock on ahead. I had to get rid of that because I didn't have enough room to fit everything that I needed.
You're gonna need that though. Because you have to issue commands to your squadron.
You can
later.
still issue commands, but I can't lock on the follow.
I
was like, I don't need that because if I have to follow him, it's there. It's going to tell me.
That's fair.
So it was cool, but it made the game so much harder.
Yeah.
But it's so much more fun.
I like the I like the idea of, and I'm sure this makes like physical sense in that like to turn tighter you go like half speed and like turn quick, and like especially if there's someone behind you, I notice you can like just like and just turn quick and get right behind them. There's some cool maneuvers that you can make in 0G.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
It's very very I don't know, it just makes sense. And I like that you can like be flying and then like literally just come to a complete stop and just be floating. Like in Battlefront, you couldn't do that when they had their flying.
Oh yeah, you just kept going, huh?
Yeah.
You could slow down.
Yeah, there was always a throttle like of some sort, which makes sense. It's kind of like a jet ski. It's like like you can't do anything if it's not on.
Yeah.
So, but I like that you could just sit there and float and like scan. Like there's some points of the game where you have to scan shit. Mm-hmm. I like I've only played a few of the missions, but there seems to be like a pretty decent breadth of like mission objectives. It's not always just like go there and destroy this.
Yeah.
It's like go protect this. We're going to go hijack this Star Destroyer, like shit like that. And it's like, okay, this is fucking intense. Like this isn't just go kill these TIE fighters, because they could have just done that.
Yeah.
You know?
And they did on the N64.
Yeah. So, I like that part. With the VR, like when you're getting ready for the missions and there's like the briefing part, it's very bland. You can't like move around. You can rotate, but you can't move around the hangar. Like I don't know how it is in like the single player version, but you go to like certain people and they just talk to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's not very well done.
Yeah, it's very like it felt to me like almost a loading screen, basically, just like an interactive loading screen.
Yeah, and it was just I don't know, the voice acting was just, it's just like they just threw it in. It's like the voices didn't fit the characters really sometimes. And I was like, this is weird.
Yeah. Keep your helmet on, bro, and then talk to me.
Yeah, so so I stopped doing like the conversational things.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh, there's probably a trophy for like doing all of them, and then I saw how many there were, and I was like, I'm not doing it.
What I wish they did was, you know, how, like you start that first mission in a standard TIE fighter, and the girl's like, oh, we're flying it old school.
Yeah.
That's cool, but what I wish they did was give you the TIE fighters that they were going to fly, where she was like, oh, I prepped our blah, 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 blahs, and he's like, no, we're going to use standard TIE fighters.
Yeah.
I want the fancy TIE fighter.
You probably get that later in the game.
But I want, because I like in Need for Speed Underground, when you start playing the game, you play with this dope 350Z first.
Right.
And you're like, oh, this is great.
And then it gets stripped.
And then you get your fucking Civic, and you're like, oh, I got to learn how to drive. And then I can get all that shit. That's what I would rather have had, where it's like you get all the bells and whistles, and you are this elite TIE fighter dude, and you're fucking killing rebels and
mine's
shit.
Mine's a strong black woman, so I picked 2 strong black women for my characters.
You're the Dora Milaje.
I am fucking woke as shit, dude.
At the Empire. There's no black people in the Empire, bro.
There is now.
Just fucking fit.
That's not true, because the guy that's the character in Squadrons that betrays them is black.
What I do,
it's on the right side of history is what it is.
What I do like is the way that the Star Wars execs are, I guess, filling in and expanding upon the lore, because
see, that's the shit I don't pick up on.
It's fucking great, just where they see like little holes and inconsistencies. Like right now on Disney Plus, you have the Bad Batch, and it's an animated. It's very much like Clone Wars in terms of animation and stuff. And Dave Filoni runs it, but it takes place after like they kill all the Jedi, but before the new movie. So that in between space, and you're following these clone troopers and stuff, and you get introduced to these ships and these worlds and these places that you've kind of heard in passing. And it's a similar thing in Squadrons, where like they mention planets where you're like, oh fuck, we're gonna go there. That's fucking dope, dude.
Right.
And like if you're not a nerd, you're still just going to a planet for a mission. But if you're a nerd, you're like, holy shit, this is the first time we're actually seeing this. And so it's very well thought out. Like I'll give you that, like your briefing scenes are bland and mediocre, but what they make up for it is the information that's within the game. You're like, holy shit, dude, this is so fucking cool.
See, that's the shit I don't really pick up on, just because I'm not that deep into it.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Probably not ever.
Bad Batch is almost as good as The Mandalorian.
What's interesting is doing a flying fighting game with like no horizon or sense of, or there's no gravity.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know, like you have the instinct to like turn around like on a plane, like, you know, on like on the same, I don't know how else to say that. On
the same plane. Yeah.
But I don't know, when you're talking about flying devices, people are retarded. Like Aaron Chase doesn't know what a jet is. Jesus Christ.
It's a propeller.
Anyway, but then I was like, oh, I can just like go like up or down.
Yeah.
And
you're like a fish.
And literally be upside down to where I was, but
doesn't make any difference.
It doesn't make a difference.
Yep. And tactically, like, it's better.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes more sense.
You don't have to turn around to get behind him. You could just drop back.
Yeah.
And come back.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So like shit like that is like, I don't know, it's weird. And then when there is like a planet or something nearby, it fucking throws me off. Because now I'm like
or trying like a ship.
Yeah, it's like
you're looking at the underder of a Star Destroyer. Like, what the fuck?
Where am I? Yeah, and doing like bombing runs is fun because you realize like you kind of have to do it like why they do it. You're like,
Yeah, you got to come in it for a sweep almost.
Yeah. You can't just go at it. I've done that a few times and that's why they don't do that. You fucking idiot. Yeah, that makes sense.
But that's what I'm saying, like the little things like that. Like when you think about like, oh, why did Luke have to go down into the trench under them and then fly a fucking 2 miles to shoot the torpedoes into the hole? It's like, well, because he couldn't do it any other way.
Right.
Like literally could not do it any other way.
Yeah.
And they show you in that. And that's what I like about Squadrons is that it's not an easy game to play unless you keep it on easy. It's the idea of flying in 3 dimensions changes the tactics, and it makes you appreciate, I guess, the fighting tactics in the later movies that you don't get to see in the initial movies. Because then you start hearing about these ace pilots and stuff, and it doesn't make sense until you play the game and you're like, oh, there's a lot going on. Like, there's a lot to be a pilot in this world. There's to fly with your squadron and have 4, and then you guys all drop back and then come back. Right? Like it's
also, I appreciate
bananas.
In that game how your squadron stays with you and you're not expected to stay with them. I fucking appreciate that so much.
Thank you for the backup,
bro. Thank you, EA, for making it like that, because I would fail every fucking
for real,
mission.
dude. There's so many times where I'm like almost dying, and then I get a resupply of shield or something, or a resupply of missiles. Like, oh, thank Christ, I'm so far from the battle right
Gunny.
now. Yeah, I'm like, Jesus, we almost died. You're such a good wingman.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying it. I don't know how much the demo did, but last night I got to a point where I was in an A-wing.
Cool.
That was cool because they have like a different HUD for that and everything, and like different loadout for it, dude. And now I'm like, oh shit! Like, how many more ships are there gonna be?
Like,
now I'm curious.
I want to fly the Naboo starfighter.
Yeah,
that one's dope,
dude. The yellow one.
Yeah, and you had the bubble, so like it was full 360 view.
I want that motherfucking thing that Qui-Gon Jinn and fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi go and Jar Jar Binks go into underneath the water, dude. That's what I want, man.
Where he's like, what is this? Big Cuba fish.
Yeah.
There's always a bigger fish.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude. There's so many options.
Yeah. I love that they do that. And I understand they're just trying to sell toys, but it's so
it makes
thought
sense
out.
too.
Yeah.
Like every country kind of has a different I mean, they have the same fighter jets, huh? Just with different painting.
Not necessarily. I mean, every country sells a different jet kind of thing.
There you go. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. I mean, like the Russian one is going to be different than the American one, which is going to be different
the
than
Russians
the British
were like
one.
doing the MiGs, and then ours were like we had the F-15s and
I mean,
stuff.
as time goes on, they kind of merge into like the solo, like this is the best one kind of. It's going to happen. But like, especially like back in the day, like back in the like World War II, like they all had different style planes.
Yeah.
Because nobody was like,
well, they all had purposes too,
communicating and shit. You know,
the problem with the all-in-one planes is that they're expensive. Like we have a good a plane that's literally good at everything, but it's literally the most expensive thing we have in our military.
What's that?
The F-22s.
Oh yeah,
the Raptor. Like it's a. Look it up. It looks
I think
sleek.
We've done this
it
before.
Looks like a regular plane, but it's stealth capabilities. It's got it. It's ridiculous the amount of technology they've packed into this thing. But it's so expensive that if it fucking gets shot down, they have to go recover it. Like they can't just leave it. There's too much proprietary technology. And
they have to go recover it.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's too much. So that's the problem, and that's what I like about Star Wars is that there's so. That it's such a tumultuous time that if you're not the Empire, you don't have money, and so everyone's got their own little ships. Like you have the Millennium Falcon, which is a hunk of shit, legitimately. If you think about it in canon, it's a terrible ship. But Han Solo and all those people made it a famous ship. Same with Jango Fett's Slave One. It's a cargo ship, but he put guns on it and missiles and shit, and now it's a fighting ship. So I like that they take things and make it their own.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like when the Mandalorian, when the Razor Crest got crushed and it just exploded and he never got his ship back. Like, I didn't like that.
They never closed that arc, huh?
No. He's just
shipless.
Yeah. Yeah, I would. Again, I've said this before, but I prefer like if he got the ship repaired at like every different spot, and now he had nets there and just little things to signify where he's been and how he's repaired the ship and make it an original kind of almost
They
Serenity.
should come
like,
out with like a short of like that stupid old lady at that one place where he always gets it repaired.
oh, that lady
Like
that
rebuilding,
babysits
yeah, like
Grogu.
rebuilding it, finding the
That'd be cool.
fuselage. I don't know the words. The salvage.
Salvage your warp drive.
Yeah.
It's crazy that apparently warp drives are just common though.
What do you mean? Oh, and
The ability
ours.
to travel in interstellar distances.
light speed.
Yeah. But
TIE fighters don't have them.
True.
I had to like connect to another ship
To
have
jump?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's annoying.
That makes sense though.
Does it?
Yeah, I mean it's
So you save warp drives?
it's
or?
their defense. I mean they don't care about the TIE fighters. They're the Empire. They don't give a fuck.
That's true. It just would make them cheaper.
Yeah, I think the TIE fighters in the Empire's eyes are just deterrents. Where like if they have a squadron of X-wings coming their way, they just drop 300
Yeah,
TIE
just to
fighters.
buy time.
Yeah, and they're like, "Hey, get back if you can, I guess."
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
We'll take care of your families.
The weird transition that they made from droids to like clones though was odd. I feel like it's more practical to just keep building droids that'll fly planes for you than to train a person to fly a plane for you.
Right. Then you have to worry about them dipping out.
Yeah, not following orders and
Like
shit.
Finn's bitch ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an issue that they bring up in the Bad Batch of like they used the initial clones were from Jango Fett, who is, essentially the clone source for like
The
Boba
clone
Fett.
master.
Yeah, they took his DNA because he was quote unquote a Mandalorian.
All right.
To build these clones, and then apparently that was too expensive, so that's why they started recruiting regular folk, like just good old fashioned. We took over your planet. You were gonna destroy it, or you're gonna join us. What are you gonna do?
Oh, nice.
Because
good
it
old
was-
fashioned tyranny.
Yeah, because it was cheaper, but that's a whole like storyline that they're dealing with in the Bad Batch of like this transition from droids to clones to people, and it's very fascinating.
Wow,
The way they-
interesting.
Again, fill the world. Star Wars is gonna be something for our kids at this point. There's just too much. Also, they made a real lightsaber. Have you seen this thing?
A real one?
Well,
Define real.
not a combat
Also-
ready lightsaber.
Can I complain about squadrons real quick?
Of course.
How does a laser not have a range outside 1,000 meters?
Because it
Does it dissipate?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, it's not a bullet.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's a beam of light, dude. It's
Uh-huh.
going to go more than
But it's
1,000 meters.
But it can lose its charge though. That's the thing.
Bro.
It's not. You're not just shooting a laser.
Whatever.
You're not shooting a low amplitude. It stands for something. I know it does. Something emitting radiation. It's a charged beam, and that's why like their guns can overheat because it's got to charge said thing. So it's gonna dissipate. Space is not 100% like it's not a void.
1,000 meters, George.
Yeah.
1,000 meters.
Yeah. How many is that in feet? 3,000 feet?
Ish.
That's almost a mile, dude.
Yeah.
That's about the range of a bullet
Yeah.
or any said projectile.
Yeah. That seems reasonable.
What's the problem?
I should be able to shoot further with my fucking laser.
I don't think so.
I do.
I don't. Because, I mean, you can't accurately shoot most things outside of like 300 meters.
Yeah, but it's in space.
So,
There's nothing affecting it.
but that's what I'm saying. It's not, space is not just a void. It's not, there isn't,
Most of it is.
it's not. It's not
Most-
necessarily a vacuum either. There's so many other things going through the air that you can't see. Radiation, solar winds, space dust, essentially. Things are gonna make shit happen. It's gonna run. It's gonna run into shit that's gonna lose its charge. That
Whatever,
makes sense
dude.
to me, dude.
It's hitting too much dust going through the air.
No, it's just
After
dissipating,
1,000
bro.
meters, space dust.
Bro, you can't even breathe.
Deteriorates my laser beam.
Right now, blow at me, and let's see if your wind reaches me.
This is vape water. This is so different than a light source.
It's not a light source, though.
It is a light source.
It's not.
You can see it.
Your problem is the distance, not the fact that people use swords to block it.
They're light swords with the same consistency.
They're not. They're really not.
Whatever, dude.
I'm gonna show you. The,
We haven't experienced that in the video game, so that's not my problem right now.
They didn't tell me at all. So complaint.
Once a Jedi shows up in space and starts blocking my lasers, I'll fucking come back.
No, that Jedi's gonna show up in space and start hurling a fucking force lightning at you. Did you play that PlayStation 2 one?
No.
The Jedi Starfighter. That's the one you could play. Like the Naboo, like they had almost everything up until that point.
Actually, I think I might have played that one.
Yeah, you could fucking force lightning the shit out of some TIE fighters. Like, this doesn't seem fair, bro. I don't even need guns. I don't need shit. Let me open the cockpit and give me my fucking lasers and
let me fly around just Superman
Why
style.
don't they do that? I feel like I wouldn't be able to hit a person with a TIE fighter, like a TIE fighter laser, if he could maneuver. Like, if he had a little MMU and a lightsaber, I'm pretty sure he could just... You're done.
Probably.
You're done.
That would be a great scene for a future Star Wars movie.
Someone's going to be like, hey, that's the last mission on Squadron, bro.
You're welcome, Lucasfilm.
Let's see. No, so Disney made a... It's a prop for shows. It's not combat ready, but it is a live sword that does... extend and retract as said lightsaber. This video is not it's not untouched or it's not
edited,
yeah. So it just extends. Is it playing? It's playing. I hope it's playing.
Yeah. So is this the actual scene?
Yeah, no, this is shot as is.
But like, is that a real scene from the Star Wars movie, or is
no?
This
is just
that's
one
not,
of the.
That's not Rey.
No, this is an actor. This is one of their cast members, and because they have a Star Wars show in Disney World, and these props are what they made for that show. So it's for stage.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like. Like,
they should definitely sell those.
Well, then people are gonna try to fight with them and stuff.
That's fine.
So, yeah,
yeah, that's pretty good. It should be faster, but yeah.
All it is basically a tape measure, though. It's like a LED tape measure in the hilt, and you push a button and it extends and then it retracts.
So
it's a visually working lightsaber.
So like basically, it extends like as if my two fingers were the quote unquote tape measure. So like the light is on this side, so when you're looking at it, it looks like.
It's still a cylinder.
Oh, okay. That's what I was wondering.
It's you know how like tape measure has that little bent a little, so
yes.
There's two of them.
Okay.
To make a cylinder.
Okay.
And they're both lit, so it's equally lit all the way up.
Okay. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's some fucking
Disney
Disney Imagineering for you.
That's pretty impressive. Now we just need to make them real.
Oh, I know, dude. I don't think that's ever gonna happen.
Dude, could you imagine, dude? People start just like breaking into banks and shit, just cutting down the fucking doors.
I would love that.
That'd be dope.
I would be a security guard
They're like,
at a bank, bro.
We need Jedis.
Yeah. The only way you can combat that is your own lightsaber, dude. I'm in. I will quit my job.
What if they have the normal police, but then they have like a special force that they need to like take on like people that have lightsabers, and they call them Jedis.
Yep.
We're becoming Star Wars.
Yep. I'm okay with it. Totally fine with it.
Let's do it.
Meanwhile, you're still going to be bitching about your 1,000
meters
fucking range.
laser, dude. I should be able to shoot farther than 1,000 meters.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
100% yes.
0% no.
No, yeah.
I mean, 100% no.
Yes, though.
It's not a flashlight. And even then,
it's more powerful than a flashlight.
But it's not.
But it is.
But it's not.
But it is.
Okay. But it's not.
But it does damage. At short distance, a flashlight doesn't.
Watch,
in your eye.
dude. I'll throw that bitch at you. I'll throw a maglite at your fucking skull.
Right, dude, if I throw my laser beam shooter at you, it'll fucking crush your life.
Have you seen those lasers that like pop balloons and shit?
Stop changing the subject.
It's not. Is my point though.
Whatever, man.
I think your college experience just made you a little dull.
Bro, no, get this. So you remember when they were like, don't point laser pointers at jet planes?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is, George? Because they were
they're
blowing them up.
Because they're bright.
Exactly. So I can take a little tiny pocket laser pointer and I can fuck with a pilot up there.
Yeah. All right. You can see the
But
laser
my Star Wars
from 1,000 meters.
37,000 feet up in the air. A little tiny laser can.
Okay,
fuck
but
up.
it's not. You're not projecting damage. You're not impacting. You're not changing.
That's not the intent of it.
Exactly.
If it's built with the intent
the
to
moment
do
you
damage,
have to charge it, like it's gonna dissipate. It's gonna lose. Like it'll hit, but because of the shields, it's not gonna do anything.
should go on forever, in my opinion.
No, it shouldn't.
It should.
No.
Much longer than 1,000 meters. Can we ask Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah, let me call him right
Call
now.
him right
actually,
now. Send him an Instagram.
Welcome to Star Talk. I am Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I think
your
that's a
personal
great question
astrophysics.
for him.
And I'm gonna be right, dude.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna
man.
message Chuck Nice on
Who's
Instagram.
Chuck Nice?
He's his co-host. He's a comic.
Oh, okay.
You know, because for real, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson's kind of an asshole.
You think?
Yeah.
Why? Did you watch the
Just
latest
his-
Joe Rogan
Just
with
his
him?
demeanor. I didn't. I listened to Star Talk, and he seems like and I guess because he seems like the dude that knows he's always the smartest person in the room,
Yeah.
and that's annoying.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't seem like he can drop it and let someone else be that person. And he always has to come in and correct and remind you that, oh, I'm smart too.
Yeah.
But
That's why I like him with Joe Rogan, because Joe keeps him like silly and like not quite as serious, and Neil keeps Joe not
factual.
Quite. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't be like Joe going, I heard you didn't have to wear masks.
So, that's I like that combination.
That's fair. Maybe I will watch it because I watch a lot of Star Talk in general, and he comes off regularly as condescending.
Yeah, I mean and they get to a point where they talk about aliens in it and like the existence of them, and he's pretty almost too dismissive of it, and it's like, bro, like
Let's have the conversation.
yeah, let's
bro.
have fun.
Let's talk about Martians.
Yeah, but he's pretty just like I don't see any proof. It's like, all right.
Yeah, and he does it in his fucking Neil deGrasse Tyson way.
Yeah.
Look at it this way.
Yeah.
The entire vastness of space. We are a finite, infinitesimal. I fucking hate him sometimes.
And he's like,
But
why would they care about us?
Did you see Bo Burnham's new special? That's why.
It's like, did you see it finally?
I did.
It's so good, right?
It is good. But I wish I watched it without everyone talking about it.
Yeah. I'm glad I got to it early.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to do that.
I'm sorry.
Shouldn't have to. I don't think you spoiled anything. But being around other conversations, I was like, oh, this. I know what song this is. I know what he's about to do. It kind of ruins the reveal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but artistically, amazing.
It's yeah. A form of self-expression, unique.
Yeah. Of the time.
Relevant. Yeah, and I was thinking, even out of the only context that puts it into like quarantine, so to speak, is him telling you this is why I'm doing it and this is why I'm by myself.
Right.
But the themes across the board are, I'd argue, timeless.
Yeah. Dude, the video game one where he's like streaming
playing
himself, fucking so funny.
So this is a video of me reacting to my reaction.
Yeah, that was so good. That
was
was
good, too.
great. That was really well done.
And then when he's playing the bow, he's playing bow as himself.
Oh yeah, yeah, yes.
Oh, I guess I'll just cry
I was
again.
just gonna cry again. This is like day ended. Oh, all right, there we go. All right. So and the one line that made me laugh really hard in that video game one is where he was like, "Is the guy really big or is the room really small?" That made me laugh real hard.
I couldn't help but feel like though he shot it in like fucking Pasadena. I don't know where he lives, but just the size of the space and
so
what
small.
it looked like. I was like, you live in California, bro. What are you doing?
Yeah, for sure.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's so creative. And I think it's interesting because I feel like at least for me, creating a joke is almost opposite, I would say, of trying to create like a video or a musical piece. Because I like jokes come to me on happenstance and I'm like, oh, I'll just make that part work consistently. But when you make like music, you have it in your head already. It's like drawing, you kind of know where you're going to go with it. You just have to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And so to see so many different like perspectives and types of content, I want to know, one, how many didn't make it to the final, and two, like how long he spent on each of them.
Oh God, I genuinely don't want to know.
I do. I'm fascinated by it. That's why, because like I don't understand that process.
What's interesting is that like some of those shots, I love that it seemed like he just had the cameras on at all times and then just kind of caught everything and slapped it together. Like it goes from like super messy and everything fucked up to like it's clean. He's shooting like something like that's gonna be a main thing in the special. It's like just the thought of cleaning all that up just gave me anxiety.
Yeah, all those wires and shit.
Dude.
You're like,
oh my God.
You need to put some shit on a table.
To figure out the lighting is just, I don't know, man. It overwhelmed, like the thought of it overwhelmed me.
And then there was in the beginning where the camera drops and he saves it.
Yeah.
I went, oh, fucking great save, bro.
Yeah, dude. He goes, oh shit.
Because that's some real shit.
Yeah, that's what I loved. He just had him on all the time.
Yeah.
It was just, yeah.
Fucking
behind the scenes.
He's good.
Because he could have just done like his sketches and his songs.
Yeah.
And just clapped those together. It probably would have been like a clean like hour, 10 minutes or whatever. We made it a little longer, made it more like a movie almost.
Yep.
And it's like almost a documentary in a sense.
Yeah. A behind the scenes of making of while making.
Yeah. Yeah. And I thought he nailed it. I loved it.
He hit so many different levels, and the emotional bells he fucking rang, and the humor in it. It's I guess it's what you strive for in art. It's that fucking stupid, like, do you paint to paint or do you paint to show other people? And
right.
That was both.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. His level of satire is just like skyrocketed.
Yeah.
That
white
like,
woman's Instagram.
That one, and then the one like at the very beginning where he's just talking about like white dudes, and like he's like singing as a white dude from a white dude's perspective, but it's hard to explain like that what he did in that song. But I was like, oh, that was amazing.
There's levels to it.
Yeah.
In terms of like not just performance but writing as well.
Yeah.
And
the fact that he did it without input, like how do you test that?
How do you bounce that off of someone? Yeah. I wonder how many people he sent, like, hey, check this out. Do you think this is funny?
Yeah, right.
His mom or something, just like, please don't send me anymore.
God, I can't imagine having to go through that process. And I think you see it on him how far it has to take a toll. I mean, just God, a year and a half
of just that.
But just watching yourself.
Yo, Bo, how much Netflix throw you for that, bro? Like
that's what I said in the last Buddy Cast. So like, well, he probably already had a deal, so he got X amount per special. Probably, he saved so much money doing this. Like he made a crazy amount of money.
But at what cost? Because
his mental health.
It clearly took a toll, and
well, he'll get back to touring soon. It'll be.
Will he though?
Yeah.
I mean, he said he quit, and then he gave back.
He'll be fine.
You don't think he'll quit again?
No,
I mean,
he can't. Obviously, he can't.
To have such crazy stage fright, though, that the anxiety pushes you out of your passion.
He'll be fine. He figured it out before the pandemic.
I guess
he'll be fine.
For a second,
he'll be fine.
I don't think so.
He'll be all right.
I think he'd be a good ghostwriter for people.
He's fine.
He's not fine.
He's
That's
white.
what we
He's
saw.
He's white. He's fine.
Okay, you're right there.
He's got health care and shit.
Someone will take care of him.
Someone will take care of him.
All right, yeah, you're right. Let's wrap this shit up because we keep rambling about shit. We didn't even talk about Virtua Fighter, but you didn't play it. So
I'm not going to get it.
It's fun.
I got to play Squadrons.
It's fun.
I don't care about fighting games on a 2D platform. I'm good.
Not on a 2D. Dude, it's
Whatever,
Virtua
dude.
Fighter. It's Sega.
Is it VR?
What's your Instagram?
At 1 year. At 1-eared elephant with an F.
Well, I'm at the George F. We are at the Buddy System Co. Go to www.thebuddysystem.co for everything. For real. Everything. Like our Instagram feed, past episodes. We got everything. So holla at your boys. We'll talk to you later. Bye.